chart and I begin to scroll all the way down. I get to the last name on the list. I skip over the name. I look at the stats. He is 6'5", 350 plus pounds. And I'm like, I gotta block Big Daddy? And the locker room's like, shoot. And all you heard was, Shawn gotta block Big Daddy. Shawn gotta block Big Daddy. Shawn gotta block Big Daddy. And there was teammates to the left, teammates to the right. And I began to walk back to my locker, and I promise you, no one said a word. All I heard was, wah, wah, wah. I'll tell you. Now I have my game face on. You can't show fear. I'm like, I'm not scared of Big Daddy. But deep inside, I'm like, I gotta block Big Daddy. I didn't want to, this guy's huge. On building, maintaining, and creating capacity. Oh, that's so sweet. Capacity to sustain your purpose, obtain your dreams, reach your goals, to be successful. To attract, to manifest, to be productive, and to reproduce. It's your mental capacity. Now, you can have a deficiency in your educational capacity, but have a strong mental capacity and become very successful in any endeavor and even wealthy, or most endeavors. Now, I first really stumbled on this, as I mentioned, when I was playing football and I was released. But going back to the introduction, the reason why I had such a low capacity, a low mental capacity, is when all the students were being promoted to the second and third grade. I had to repeat the first grade. And by the time I was in the fifth grade, I had documented with 4, possibly 5 learning disabilities, and a single parent situation, one of 6 kids, and there was a lot of abuse in my life. And that kind of stumped my capacity. And so I saw myself as a victim and not as a victor. Big difference. You see, victors always focus on what they're going to. Victims like to focus on what they're going through. Third day, there's a knock on the door, and in walks this young fullback. He's a freshman, 3rd rounder. His name was Zach Crockett. And so I began to have a conversation with Zach Crockett, and it turns out we were in the same college fraternity, and we talking, and we're exchanging little, you know how guys do, and we hanging out, and then all of a sudden he just stops in mid conversation, and he says, "Shawn, I'm gonna start this year." Now, I didn't want to doubt or talk about the young rookie, After all, he is my fraternity brother, So I kind of want to encourage him, but at the same time, I want to give him a dose of reality. I'm like, Zach, Lamont Warren is playing in front of you. Roosevelt Potts is starting in front of you. And then there's an all-pro Marshall Faulk is playing in front of you. You'll probably sit the bench the entire year and be on special teams. He cut me off mid-sentence. He said, "I'm going to start this year, Shawn." I said, "Okay." Didn't say a word to him. And so game after game, I'm on the sideline doing special teams work, in there playing. I look at Zach, clean uniform. But he doesn't even bat a smile. He's waiting. He's anticipating. He knows he's going to start. He knows he's going to make the team. I'm hoping to make the team. See the difference? He knows he's going to do wonderful, and I'm praying that I can even just catch the coach's attention. Sure enough, midway through the season, a playoff game, Marshall goes down. Zach Crockett jumps in the game, 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. He goes on to play 12 more years in the NFL. That's unheard of for a running back. We were drafted around the same round, but there was a difference in the mindset. And so I said, you know what? That really bothered me. To be really honest, it really bothered me. What was the difference between me and Zach? Capacity. And Mr. Disney was very frustrated because he had a great idea, a great dream, a great vision, but his capacity was limited. So he set out to build another theme park. And he scoured the U.S. and he landed on Orlando, Florida. And he secretly and covertly bought up 27,000 acres before anyone knew what was going on. And finally, a reporter trips up on it, does some research, and he realizes that Mr. Disney is possibly about to build a theme park. The price of real estate shoots through the roof, but he continues to purchase the 3,000 more acres. Now, he wrote out a business plan, and he had a dream. His, I guess they're called Imagineers instead of engineers. They all got together, and they thought of these theme parks in the 60s. But he also purchased 30,000 acres for the physical capacity for these theme parks. Walt Disney died before ground broke on even one of those amusement parks. But since he had the acres in play, it was able to host his dream, his vision. Now, had he only had 5,000 acres, we only have one theme park right now. Understand this. He brought that land in the 60s. They started building the other theme parks in the 80s. That's why when you go to airports a lot of times, you see all that vacant land around the airports. It's for capacity. Unfortunately, a lot of us is like this glass right here. That vase, or what are you going to call it, craft, crepe, whatever, is pouring into that glass, and that glass is almost full. Now, if you look closely, you notice that there's a lot more water in that vase, but it only can pour in proportion to that glass. And so where a lot of us are today, including myself, I'm still working on this, is, you know what, I want to be successful. I want to be a strong leader. I want to do this, and some of us want to become millionaires or billionaires. I want to travel all over the world. I want to form companies. I want to make a mark. I want to change the world, you know. Big dreams, big goals, big desires, little capacity. And let me tell you what happens. Either A, the water get to the top and it'll stop. Or B, even worse, it'll flow over like a lot of broke NFL athletes. It's true. Or even worse, it'll bypass you. See, what I'm saying is that if you have the capacity, you will attract what you're supposed to attract. But if you don't have the capacity, it'll go right past you.